the focus of this video is that I'm one of the first people in the country, I believe, to get hold of a couple of the new MTC Optics Prismatic scopes, or the SWAT scopes, the super wide area technology scopes. So this arrived today in the post, and I'm going to unwrap it now. I have to say that if this is a pair of shoes or something for the missus, then this is going to be a bit of a disappointment. A couple of batteries. I'm assuming that they're going to be for the illuminated reticle, and there we go. That's the first one. That is the SWAT Prismatic. Don't know if you can see that. That's the 12 by 50, and then this one should be, yeah, this is the 10 by 30. This is the Atom. Right. So let's take a look at these two. So nice boxes. MTC do fantastic boxes, I have to say. Right. So you've got a little book of words there. You've got a cloth, adapters for dovetail mounting. You've got looks like a Picatinny rail there. You've got you've got an MOA Picatinny mount there. I don't know if you can see that there. It's got some MOA markings on the back. A couple of Allen keys, of course, you always get Allen keys, and then the scope itself. Cool, oh, look at that. Right, well that is the Atom, and it's got a nice little flip up lens cap at the back here. You've got your turrets here. The turrets are lift up and click, so you pull it up, you adjust it, push it down again to lock it. So that's your elevation up and down. This one here, same thing, is your windage left and right. I have to say it's nice and nice firm clicks, and pops back on there and locks in. This here is your parallax adjustment, and this is your IR in here. Nice little lens cap on the back as well for the objective lens. Right, another lovely MTC box. Right, you got the same bump again. Yeah, you got all the same kit as before. You've got the same mounting adapters. You've got the additional rail. You've got another little rail as there. That's the MOA rail as well. And then, okay, you've got the main scope. And again, you've got the same. You've got the lens caps on the bigger one. You've got the same turrets, the same setup completely. So this is the Atom, the smaller of the two scopes. This retails at 375 quid. This one retails, the larger one retails at £480. So the smaller one, the Atom, is a 10 by 30 fixed magnification. It's a 34mm tube. Weighs 300 grams, and it's 123 millimeters long. And I have to say, you know, it's a little bit weird having a scope that looks so small. Fits in your hand. It's tiny. It's more like a sort of like a large red dot scope, if you will. Feels very, very. They both feel very, very good quality, I have to say. Nice and solid. There's no rattle on them or anything. Really, really good. So the parallax on both of them goes down to 6 meters. I think my conventional scopes are like 10 meters, 15 yards, something like that. So the fact that they both parallax down so good is really, really good, especially as they're fixed magnification. and there's 10 brightness settings on the IR for both of them. The larger one, so this is the larger one, is a fixed 12 by 50, so that's 12 times magnification, 50mm objective lens at the end. This is 10 times fixed magnification, 30mm objective lens. Obviously this one weighs a little bit more, it's a little bit bigger, 460 grams, so 156 millimeters long. But again, it feels very, very compact. Now, in terms of the reticles, this one here has the Atom has the MD5 reticle, I believe it is, which is, oh wow, look at that, which has 5 mil dots, then a line, 5 more mil dots, then a line, 5 more mil dots. So you get 15 mil dots in either direction, up and down, left and right, spaced out with a line every 5, which is good. And then the larger one has the SCB2 reticle, the small caliber ballistics reticle, I believe it's called. Yeah. Now what I love about this reticle, and this reticle is on some other MTC scopes, is that the mil dot either side of the centre of the crosshairs forms like a little box, which is really great for framing your target, especially as when you switch on the illuminated reticle, just that box lights up. So in the dark, it really sort of focuses you in on your target. Now this is made specifically for air gunners. It's a revolutionary design. I've never seen anything like this before. So this is something that is purpose made for us. Now let's talk about eye relief, because this is the main kind of difference and the main obvious area as it relates to that revolutionary design and its relevance for us as air gunners. Now, as anyone who's used a conventional scope will know, conventional scopes, you have to have a distance, a gap between your eye and the end of the scope, and that distance is called eye relief. Now, the reason that we have that is that most conventional scopes have been developed or designed on the basis of being used with recoiling rifles. So you want that gap to exist, because you don't want the gun recoiling, coming back and the scope hitting you in the eye. Now, because these have been made specifically for PCP air rifles, not Springers, I don't think you'd be able to use these with Springers, because there is an element of recoil on a Springer. But certainly you might be able to get away with using these on 2.2 LRs. But these have been designed specifically for PCP air rifles, because they have little to no recoil. Now what that means is that because your eye is right up close against the scope when it's on the rifle, and you have no eye relief at all, or a very tiny amount of eye relief up against this rubber cup, you get a huge field of view. Now field of view is the term that is used to describe the amount of area that you can see through the scope. So I believe on these, the field of view, certainly on this one, is, I think it's 28 meters at 100 meters. So at 100 meters distance, you're seeing a width of landscape, if you like, of 28 meters. Now that's huge. That's massive. Now we're not going to take many shots as air gunners at 100 meters, but what it does mean is that you can scan large horizons at high magnification. Now you can do that with a conventional scope, but with a conventional scope, if a target pops up that's much closer to you, or you need to scan an area that is 15-20 yards away, you're probably going to have to adjust the magnification on your variable magnification conventional scope down to sort of 3 times or 4 times just to get that field of view. And if you need to take that shot, then certainly you're going to have to reduce your magnification accordingly, just to find the target in your scope. Now with these, because the field of view is so huge, you don't need to do that. Even at short distance, 15-20 yards, the amount of landscape that you can see is so big compared to a conventional scope that you don't need to zero down, and B, you're already at a magnification which allows you to take that shot. So, especially as you can parallax down to just 6 meters. So it's a really well thought out design, and I can't wait to put it on my guns. Now you want to make sure that you can obviously clear the magazine port here, which I think that will be okay, and then just a case of tightening up these clamps. Now it's nice and solid. Let's see how that is now on the eye. Oh yes, yeah, wow. Okay, so putting your SWAT scope on a dovetail mounted rifle. So you've got these two little adapters. As you can see, hopefully they are sprung. There's also a slot on both of these. Now you want to place those onto your dovetail rail and make sure that this little raised bar here, if you can see that, fits inside the slot on the forward of the two adapters that you just put on your gun. Okay, now I've also swapped over to the smaller of the two Picatinny rails. Now what you need to do now is put your the Picatinny rail on top of the dovetail adapters. Now the caveat I'm going to use here is that it's a little bit fiddly, but I am a complete idiot when it comes to tools. Great. Okay, well that's a quick rundown on the new MTC SWAT Prismatic scopes, the Atom and the 12x50. Hopefully they'll be in a shop near you soon. Yeah, great scopes. I have to say I like them. I'm looking forward to getting out in the field, testing them on the range and seeing what they're like in a hunting environment. Anyway, thanks for watching.